after 9 p.m. The television has been turned off. The last mug of tea sits warm on the table. Outside, the streetlights cast a soft glow. This is the hour when the world quiets down. And for many of us over 65, it's when sleep should come naturally, gently, peacefully. But more and more, it doesn't. If you're finding that your nights feel longer, your rest feels lighter, or you're waking up feeling like you haven't really slept at all, please know this: you are not alone, and more importantly, there is nothing wrong with you. Meet Irene. She's 68 and lives in a cozy 2-bedroom home she once shared with her husband. Now that she's alone, her evenings are simple: a little knitting, a book, a soft blanket, all the things that used to help her drift off. But lately, Irene says sleep feels like a guest who refuses to stay. "I go to bed tired," she shared, "but by midnight I'm wide awake again. And then I can't get back to sleep." Across town, 72-year-old Paul lives with his wife and 2 friendly cats. He keeps himself active, gardening, fixing things around the house, even helping his neighbor with her groceries. But despite staying busy and eating right, Paul wakes up every morning with heavy eyes. "It's strange," he says. "I'm in bed for 7 hours, but I still feel tired, like my body went to sleep but didn't really rest." Stories like Irene's and Paul's are more common than we often talk about, but they matter because sleep isn't just a way to pass the night. It's the body's way of healing itself, restoring memory, reducing stress, supporting our heart, and even keeping our balance steady. Yes, balance. The kind that prevents falls, which are a major concern for many as we age. So what's changing? After 65, sleep becomes a different experience. Our natural sleep hormone melatonin begins to decline. Our circadian rhythm, that internal clock that tells us when it's time to feel sleepy or alert, begins to shift. That's why many seniors feel tired earlier in the evening and tend to wake up earlier in the morning, sometimes before the sun. But that's not all. We also start spending less time in deep sleep, the stage where the body does most of its repairing. Instead, we hover in lighter stages of sleep, which are easier to wake from. That's why a little noise outside or a shift in body temperature can wake us up more easily than before. But here's something we often don't realize. Some of the habits we bring into bedtime, routines we've had for years, may now be working against us. What once had no impact when we were 40 or even 50 might now be quietly interfering with the quality of our rest. It's not about blame. These habits are usually simple, everyday things. Watching a certain type of TV show before bed, eating a snack too close to lights out, or even keeping the room just a little too warm. Tiny things. But when sleep becomes more delicate, those tiny things begin to matter. The good news? These habits can be gently shifted, not overnight, but with small steps and thoughtful care. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because sleep after 65 is not something to take for granted. It's something to nurture, to protect, and to honor, just like we've done for others throughout our lives. You've spent decades waking up early to help others, maybe to raise children, to work long hours, to cook for a family, to care for someone sick. But now this is about you, about your body, your peace, your health. So let's sit together, like old friends sharing wisdom, and talk about 5 common nighttime mistakes that seniors often make without realizing it. And more importantly, let's talk about how you can change them in a way that's kind to your body and easy on your heart. Because sleeping well isn't just about avoiding fatigue. It's about waking up with energy, facing the day with clarity. feeling stronger, steadier, and more present. And after 65, you absolutely deserve that. Mistake 1. Eating too late at night. Let's begin with something simple, something many of us enjoy. A small snack before bed. A few crackers, a piece of bread with jam, maybe even a slice of leftover pie. It feels comforting, familiar, and it's a routine many of us have had for decades. But after 65, this seemingly innocent habit can quietly begin to interfere with the way our bodies rest. Take Alice, for instance. She's 70 and lives with her sister Janet. Every night, just before turning off the lights, they make a pot of herbal tea and nibble on biscuits or cheese and crackers. It's their little ritual, a way to wind down. But recently, Alice has noticed something different. She wakes up feeling bloated, her stomach feels heavy, and even though she falls asleep quickly, she wakes up often, sometimes with a slight ache in her side or a need to use the bath. What Alice didn't know is that digestion slows down as we age. Our stomach and intestines work less efficiently, especially at night. When we eat too close to bedtime, the body is forced to focus on digestion instead of resting. This can cause disrupted sleep, indigestion, or even acid reflux. That burning feeling in the chest that many seniors mistake for heart trouble. In fact, studies have shown that seniors who eat heavy meals or snacks less than 2 hours before bed are more likely to experience poor sleep quality and nighttime discomfort. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go to bed hungry, but it does mean timing and choice are important. Try to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bed, and if you truly need a little something later, choose light, sleep-friendly options. A small banana, a few almonds, or a spoonful of yogurt. These foods are easier to digest and may even support better sleep. And one more thing, watch out for hidden caffeine or sugar in evening snacks. Some teas, chocolates, or digestive biscuits have ingredients that can keep your brain more alert than you realize. Just ask Paul. Remember him from earlier? He used to sip a certain kind of relaxing tea every evening until he realized it had trace amounts of caffeine. Once he switched to chamomile, his nights became noticeably more peaceful. So let's take this first step gently. Think about what you're eating at night. Ask yourself, is it helping your body rest, or is it quietly asking your body to keep working when it's trying to sleep? By respecting the needs of your digestion, you're also respecting your sleep. And that's a form of self-care you've earned every single night. Mistake 2. Too much screen time before bed. Let's take a moment to talk about something that's become a big part of almost everyone's life. Screens. Whether it's the television, a smartphone, or a tablet, these glowing rectangles keep us connected, informed, and entertained. Many of us wind down in the evening by watching a few episodes of a favorite show, scrolling through social media, or reading the news. It feels harmless. In fact, it often feels like a kind of company, especially for those living alone. But here's what most people, including many younger ones, don't realize. The light from screens can confuse the brain, especially after sunset. And for those over 65, the impact is even more noticeable. Let's check back in with Irene. She's the one we met earlier who used to fall asleep just fine, but has been waking up in the middle of the night. Well, a few weeks ago her granddaughter visited and made an interesting suggestion. "Grandma," she said, "what if you stopped watching the 10 p.m. news and tried listening to soft music instead?" Irina gave it a try, a bit skeptically at first, but after just a few days, she noticed something surprising. She didn't feel as restless at bedtime. Her mind wasn't racing, Her eyes felt less strained, and her sleep, though still light, felt deeper somehow. Why? Because screens, especially in the hour or two before sleep, emit a kind of blue light that blocks melatonin, the very hormone that helps us feel sleepy. This light tells the brain it's still daytime and delays the body's natural signals for rest. And it's not just the light, the content we watch also matters. Think about it. When you watch the evening news, what do you often see? Violence, politics, stress, drama. Even your favorite crime series or action show can keep your mind stimulated, your heart beating faster, your thoughts racing. That's not a peaceful path to sleep. It's a recipe for nighttime worry. So what can you do? Here are some gentle alternatives that work beautifully for many seniors. Replace screen time with soft music, audiobooks, or nature sounds. These soothe the nervous system. Keep screens out of the bedroom if possible. Let your bedroom be a sanctuary for rest, not stimulation. If you do need to use a phone or tablet, turn on night mode or blue light filter settings, which make the light gentler on your eyes and brain. Try reading a physical book, yes, the old-fashioned kind with pages, under a warm bedside lamp. That simple act can help your body transition to rest naturally. Remember Paul from earlier? He loved watching documentaries late at night, especially nature shows. But once he began feeling overly alert after watching his screen into the night, he started setting a simple rule: no screens after 9 p.m. He replaced that time with an easy crossword puzzle and a cup of calming tea. "I didn't think it would matter," he said, "but it really does. I fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer." Sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about preparing your brain to let go, to shift from stimulation to stillness. And when screens dominate our evenings, they can make that shift harder than it needs to be. So tonight, try something different. Step away from the bright light. Let your brain breathe. Let your body know it's time to rest. You've done enough today. Mistake 3. Ignoring the temperature and lighting in your bedroom. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt calm? Or, on the other hand, walked into a space and felt slightly agitated without knowing why? Our environment shapes how we feel, especially when it comes to sleep, and yet this is something many seniors overlook. Let's visit Janet, Alice's sister. She's 72 and has always been a light sleeper. For years she would toss and turn throughout the night, blaming it on her age, her bones or stress. But one day her daughter visited and said something simple but eye-opening. "Mum, it's too warm in here. No wonder you can't sleep." You see, as we age, our body's internal thermostat becomes more sensitive. We're more prone to feeling too cold or too warm, and our ability to regulate temperature during the night becomes weaker. Add to that hormonal changes and medications, and suddenly the room you've been sleeping in for years may no longer support good rest. According to sleep researchers, the ideal sleeping temperature for most people, especially seniors, is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. Cooler air actually helps signal to the brain that it's time to slow down, rest and repair. But it's not just temperature, lighting plays a role too. Let's go back to Janet. Along with adjusting her room temperature, she swapped out her bright overhead bulb for a soft bedside lamp with a warm tone. She also bought thicker curtains to block out the harsh streetlights outside. These small changes, she said, made her bedroom feel like a nest, peaceful, quiet, and just for me. Light exposure during the night, even from small sources like hallway nightlights, digital clocks, or nearby windows, can confuse the brain's natural sleep rhythm. It may prevent the deep stages of sleep your body needs for healing and memory. So, what can you do to fix this? Here are some easy steps you can start tonight. Keep the room cool, quiet, and dark. Open windows or use a fan if needed. Use blackout curtains or a comfortable sleep mask if outside light is a problem. Turn off or cover glowing electronics such as alarm clocks or power indicators. Avoid harsh white lighting before bed. Keep your bedding breathable using layers you can adjust throughout the night. And don't forget, your bed itself matters. A mattress that's too soft, too hard, or too warm can affect circulation and comfort, especially if you have arthritis or back pain. Think of your bedroom as a kind of healing cocoon, a space meant only for rest, peace, and comfort. You've earned that sacred space, and your body will thank you for treating it with care. After all, good sleep is not about luck, it's about building the right conditions, one gentle choice at a time. Mistake 4. Skipping a bedtime routine or evening wind down. Let's take a moment to reflect. How did you get ready for bed as a child? Maybe your mother told you a story. Maybe you washed your face, changed into pajamas, said your prayers. There was a rhythm, a sense of closure to the day. But as we grow older, especially after 65, many of us lose that. We simply finish watching TV, turn off the light, and expect our minds and bodies to instantly shift into sleep. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, especially not anymore. Our bodies crave signals and patterns, and just like children benefit from bedtime routines, so do older adults. In fact, they're often more essential with age, not less. Let's talk about Alice again, the one who struggled with late-night bathroom trips. She realized that she had no bedtime ritual. Some nights she'd have tea at 9, sometimes at 11. Some nights she'd read. Other nights she'd scroll on her phone. Her evenings had no pattern, and her sleep reflected that. Unpredictable and scattered. So, with a bit of gentle encouragement from her friend Irene, she created a simple routine. Nothing fancy. At 8:30 p.m. she dimmed the lights. At 8:45 she did light stretches in her bedroom. At 9 she sipped warm chamomile tea and wrote a few lines in her gratitude journal. By 9:30 she was in bed, listening to soft instrumental music. After just 1 week, Alice felt the difference. Her body recognized the signals. Her mind quieted. Sleep no longer felt like something to chase. It felt like something she naturally welcomed. So, what can a bedtime routine look like for you? Here are some easy ideas that many seniors find soothing. Light stretching or gentle yoga to loosen tight joints and muscles. A warm shower or sponge bath, helping relax both body and mind. Journaling, even if it's just a few words about your day or what you're thankful for. Breathing exercises. Inhale slowly, exhale even slower. Repeat. Soft reading, especially spiritual, nostalgic or calming material. Prayer or meditation, which many find deeply centering. The key is consistency. The body learns through repetition. When you do the same calming things before bed each night, your brain begins to associate those actions with rest. Your nervous system starts to slow down. Your heart rate gently decreases. You're not forcing sleep, you're preparing for it. And remember, your routine doesn't have to be long. Even 20 minutes can make a powerful difference. One of our viewers, Mr. Yusuf, age 74, shared a beautiful line in a letter. The older I get, the more I realize the importance of rituals. They remind me that I still have control, even over small things, and that gives me peace. A bedtime routine is your personal signal to the world and to yourself that the day is done, that you deserve rest, that your body, your soul, your spirit, they've all earned the chance to heal tonight. Let's take a deep breath together. You've just walked through some of the most common nighttime mistakes many seniors unknowingly make. But more importantly, you've also seen how small, thoughtful changes can bring back the kind of peaceful, healing sleep that your body deeply needs. If you're over 65, sleep isn't something to take lightly anymore. It's no longer just about getting through the night. It's about nurturing your health, protecting your memory, supporting your heart, and safeguarding your mood. We've seen that with age, your body changes, but that doesn't mean you lose control. In fact, this chapter of life invites a new kind of care, one that is gentler, wiser, and more intentional. Let's remember Irene, who realized late-night meals were robbing her of sleep. Let's think of Paul, who swapped sugary snacks for a banana and a glass of water. Janet, who created a cozy, cool bedroom oasis, and Alice, who embraced her bedtime routine and began sleeping with a smile. These aren't just names, they're reflections of people like you, people who made small changes and found big results. You are not helpless when it comes to sleep. You are not at the mercy of age. You have the ability to change, gently, wisely, and at your own pace. Here's what you can do tonight. Choose just one mistake from today's list that resonates with you. Write it down. Then write down one small action you will take to begin correcting it. Give yourself grace. You don't need to be perfect, just present and committed. And here's something else. You are not alone. The Elder Insight community is here with you, walking this path side by side. Your wisdom, your stories, your efforts, they matter not just to you, but to those around you and to those who will follow in your footsteps. If this video brought you comfort, insight, or clarity, I invite you to like it, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Elder Insight. Every week, we're here to walk with you through the challenges and joys of aging well. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these nighttime habits do you think has been affecting your sleep the most? What's one gentle change you're willing to try starting tonight? Remember this, after 65, sleep is not a luxury, it's a powerful tool, one that can restore, uplift, and even heal. So treat it with the love and attention it deserves. You are worthy of good rest. You are worthy of peaceful nights. You are worthy of waking up each morning with clarity, strength, and joy. Good night, and take care.